Hello everybody, welcome back to the Arsenal Fan Reviews channel, and I'm here today joined by Mike. Thanks for coming on the channel.
No problem, sorry, I've just turned my phone off.
That's all right. As we are going to be going over some of the latest Arsenal news. So starting off today, we do have a big story about David Luiz, and this is one I know Mike feels quite angry about, and that is that he may be signing a new deal at Arsenal Football Club. I believe it will be an extra year onto his contract. So just get it out there. What are your thoughts on this?
Dreadful. I find David Luiz a liability. I think there's much better players out there. Why we're holding on to him? I don't want to use the term has-been, but he's a has-been. And he's served his purpose now. He's beyond useful to us now. I think if ever a time comes to him when the actual ball is coming towards him and he's our key defender to stop them and they're running at him, I cringe. In his defensive mode, I find him an absolute liability. Glenn, who was on the other week, said if anyone's going to give a penalty away, it'll be David Luiz. But in fact, he actually had a very good game that game. And I had to eat my words because I completely agreed with Glenn. But now I think, why another year? Why not go and get someone who we can develop and who can mature with us? Why are we going for players who have matured and passed their sell-by date?
Yeah, I mean, I sort of agree. I see where you're coming from. I mean, he's, like you said, the only one who's probably going to make the mistake if there is a mistake in that game, as we saw against Wolves, although you can't really blame that on him because it was just a coming together, as you said in the referee video. But I can also see where Arteta's coming from. Even if he isn't performing out on the pitch, we can have him there, first of all, as a backup. I know he's 33, but apparently he does, bring a lot of experience to the changing room and helps the youngsters a lot. What do you think of his age, though? I mean, 33 is getting on. I know we've got William Saliba coming through as well. He'll be back next season. Like you said, one of those players we can start to introduce into the team.
Yeah, well, 33 in football terms is old. It is old. There's no getting away from it. We need someone with his experience, for sure. It's good to have that. But then you've got the age. So what one's more important? You look at Saka, for example. He's actually not got the experience, but he's given 110%. But from what I hear, David Luiz is actually very good in the changing room. He's very good at motivating and camaraderie, getting the team spirit going. That, to me, counts for a lot when you're looking at a squad. But to actually just have him on the field, get him on the coaching staff if you want to keep him.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually an idea, isn't it? I mean, he's okay. He can sometimes be very good on his day. I mean, we saw yesterday he was very commanding, did make maybe a loose pass or two, but everyone does that once in a while. But other than that, was really trying to get the ball up the pitch, and I thought overall looked okay. So two contrasting opinions there, but of course, make sure to let me know what you think about this whole contract story in the comment section down below. But let's get on to the next bit of news, and that is that Arteta has provided us with an update on the injuries of Kieran Tierney and Thomas Partey. The quote is on screen now. When he was asked whether there is a chance Partey or Tierney could feature this week against Benfica, he said it seems unlikely at the moment, but probably if there is one player who has got a bigger chance, it's Kieran, because probably in the next few days he can start to do some parts with the team. But I don't know how it's going to evolve when he gets a little bit closer to training with the group. So it is a bit of a positive update. It's a shame. I mean, both of these players so injury prone, or Kieran Tierney especially, and we really have missed a lot of him. And of course, Thomas Partey, he got injured once or twice. I think he missed 3 games in Atletico in all his years there. And at Arsenal, he's already missed about 10 or 11. So, first of all, of course, what do you think about these two players? What do you think, or let me rephrase, how much do you think we have missed them? You know, the big bit of creativity and defensive side of it we have lost because these two players being out. And also, what do you think about the injuries we seem to see pop up at Arsenal Football Club?
I think that's a very important question. Where does the blame lie? Does the blame lie with the physical fitness of the game in today's sport? I don't think that's a problem, because you see these players, they get blown at and they can fall over. It happens every week. But the backroom, the physical people who look after the bodies, look after the players and get them back onto playing again, are they holding them back for too long before they let them get out again and start playing? Are we mollycoddling them too much? Are we covering them in cotton wool too much? Get out there, get it back up there, get back out and start fighting again. When is it too soon? When is it too early? We don't have the depth of squad that we used to have. Tierney and Partey, I think they're both fantastic players. I'd love to see Tierney come back. If he came back sooner rather than later for the next game, would be fantastic. Partey, he's still got something to prove to me. I've found him an okay player to watch, to be honest. But Tierney, I find him quite exciting. I think he'll also fit in with the mentality of the younger players that we've got now, pushing and trying to make a name for themselves. I just hope we don't overawe the younger players with too much notice, if you know what I mean, where we actually are saying, oh, they're changing the Arsenal Football Club. They're not. They're just taking us where we should be. We're back to where we should be. We've got some good players in the squad.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Of course, Tierney pretty much carried the left side for the couple of months. He did manage to get just a run of straight games. Aubameyang wasn't really performing, although hopefully that should change from last night's performance. And we never really found that Pepe could play there on the left as well. So he was our creative side for the whole of the left side. And of course, when he can come back, it finally means we can start to see a left back play at left back. So there's no mistakes like when Cedric ran the ball out of play yesterday. And we can also see a right back at right back instead of having to watch someone who I know is a right back, Hector Bellerin, play there. But honestly, should he even be in football? It's painful to watch sometimes. I mean, he scored a goal yesterday, and touching on that, what did you make of him? I mean, a goal, but then he kind of conceded one as well. It was a mixed performance.
I thought Bellerin's goal yesterday, for me, Bellerin's goal yesterday was the best of the lot. I thought that was cracking. The goalkeeper is going to be kicking himself when he sees that going in, you know, his near post. How he squeezed that in there was just fantastic. The one that he gave away, poor. He almost gave up to me. It looked like he'd stopped and went, oh, no, I can't stop. I better get and it was too late. But his goal was sensational. Yeah,
the goal was very, very good. I mean, it was 4 pretty nice goals. I mean, the penalty, of course, was a penalty. The Emile Smith Rowe assist where Aubameyang headed it into the back of the net. Apparently, he was trying to shoot and it just kind of went the wrong way. So if it was a shot, then not sure what was happening there. But luckily, he did manage to get an assist. That first Aubameyang goal, though, I believe it was, the one where he just ran through and into the bottom corner, that was very nice. But
lovely,
Hector Bellerin, it was a mixed performance yesterday. Second half, not as good as that kind of first 45 and the first 10 of the second half. But touching on something you also did mention just a few minutes ago, you said maybe the backroom staff are kind of keeping the players back. But then we have seen something that doesn't really prove that when Thomas Partey, of course, was started in the North London derby a couple months ago and had to come off because his injury flared up again.
It's a fine line. You know, when I was involved in coaching, it was a fine line. When do you let them back? Because all the players want to do is play. They just want to get out there and play. It's different in amateur football to professional football. See, they are going out there, they're playing, they're doing their job, and they're helping the team and the club. I don't know. I think it's a fine line between an injury that's nearly gone, nearly finished, to the backroom staff keep, being a little bit safe, a little bit more cautious, holding them back. Give it another week and we'll assess to see how far we can let them play. They go in, don't forget, they don't just go from you're okay to playing on the next Saturday, or whenever. Yeah. They go start training with the rest of the squad, and they're assessed all the way through it. They have the physio and the medical staff watching every movement they're doing. They get them to do special exercise to put it under stress to see if it's hurting or whatever. And if they pass all that activity, then they're allowed to go into more of a harder training session. So it's not just a sort of straight, you're okay, you can run the length of the pitch, go on, out you go. But I just think we're holding them back too long.
Yeah, I agree that it's in some cases, but fingers crossed both of those players are back very soon. And if we can get even just one of them, like Arteta said, Kylian Tierney, back for the Benfica game, it will be a massive benefit because both of them have been really good this season. But let's go on to our final story of the day. And that is that Arteta and Arsenal are very, very, very close to signing a £20 million youngster, 18-year-old Tiago Tomas from Sporting Lisbon. He's an 18-year-old, as I said, striker. And you may not have heard of him before, but of course, he has broken through into the Portuguese squad and Sporting squad this season with 18 appearances in Liga. 8 of them were, of course, starts. He's got 2 goals and 2 assists from the 23 senior outings, so it's not too brilliant, but Edu has reportedly been very, very impressed. And, of course, we are now working on a deal which could get done very soon. So this kind of is an interesting deal, of course. Would we put him into the first team straight away? No, I don't think so, because first of all, we do have quite a good, bunch of strikers. Lacazette there, Martinelli can play there, Aubameyang we saw could play as a centre forward yesterday. But then, if we threw him into the under 23s team, does that mean Folarin Balogun's going to be leaving? Because he's been our player of the season for the past couple of seasons, honestly. But he's of course been in that contract situation. So does this pretty much confirm that he will be going and this is his replacement? So what do you make of him? I haven't really seen too much, but seems okay.
Yeah, well, from what you say and from what I've heard, he is actually a fabulous player and will fit in with the youngsters that we've got. They're hungry. They want to prove, and B, they just want to get out there and play, and they enjoy it. I said a few weeks ago, they're almost, scoring for fun, and they're attacking for fun. They're not just holding onto the ball and passing. They're actually, I want to get up, hold onto the ball, but come on, let's get into the goal. There's an end result. He could fit in well with them. Who would we get rid of out of the first team squad? What do you think? Who do you think would go?
It's difficult. I mean, Lacazette, we've got him at the moment. I don't want to get rid of him. I mean, he's been brilliant in Arsenal. His first season, the 2018-19 season, I believe, player of the season, got quite a few goals. Then 19-20 was rather quiet, but still performed well. And so far this season has had his on days, has had his off days. So I wouldn't want to get rid of him straight away, but if we had to sacrifice one of them, it probably would be him. I mean, we've got Aubameyang. Yes, he is a bit older than Lacazette, but still has a lot, in him. I saw a stat today. In the top 5 European elite leagues in the last 10 years or so, Aubameyang is 7th in the amount of goals scored. And Martinelli is that 3rd one there. I don't want to get rid of him at all. I mean, no, we're not getting rid of him. So no. It's a hard one. Who would you get rid of?
I think by bringing him in, if we brought him in to the first team squad, I think we would really anger Lacazette because I think he's the weaker point. And that's sad because we seem to have now got a very good front lineup and we've got excess to requirements, which is why you're saying about putting him in the under 23s. That's a good call. That's a very good call. It gives him some experience. It gives him some getting used to the Arsenal way. But when he comes in, when he comes into the first team, decisions have got to be made. Are we too front heavy? Shouldn't we really be focusing more a little bit in bolstering up our back four? Why are we bringing in another one to create? I wouldn't call it competition, because competition in football terms, in the way of in-house competition, can be healthy because they're fighting for their slot. But we've got too many fighting for the slot. Or if we're going to play two up front, we'll have too many fighting for those two. I would rather see someone coming in who would bolster our defensive lineup. I'm happy with our forward lineup. I think our forward lineup are starting to gel. Our wings, with Tierney coming back, hopefully, we could be happy with the wings, but we still got some way to go with a little bit with the midfield adjustment, a little bit with the defence adjustment, but I wouldn't have adjusted the front. What about you? How do you think?
Yeah, I mean, if I was in charge of Arsenal with this deal, for the under-23s, maybe, but like you said, we've already got Balogun there really coming through. So, look, I'll put it this way. If Balogun is leaving, then I'd bring this guy in, because we don't really have another backup striker unless you really want to bring in the youngsters from the under-18 squad. But if he isn't, which, lots of people are saying is, and Arteta is still really hopeful, we just need to give him some first team minutes, potentially on Thursday in the Europa League, then, I wouldn't go through with this deal. Like you said, we still need to improve on that midfield. Yes, I know it's kind of working at the moment. We've got Emil Smith-Rowe, Xhaka, Partey permanently, Odegaard on loan. But of course, Odegaard on loan. And Xhaka, I like him as a player. I mean, maybe one of those kind of passion merchants. I've heard people call him before, but he's getting on in age as well. And I don't think, despite recent performances, is as good as someone like, one of those youngsters like Partey for the Premier League. So I don't really get it, honestly, unless Balogun's leaving.
We also can't forget that we brought Odegaard in.
Yeah.
He gets himself up there all the time. He's pushing to get in that 18-yard box all the time as well. He made a number of valiant efforts to get into that box and help us out in that way. So again, that's another person who, albeit on loan, but he is a newbie trying to integrate into the squad. He has got, even though he's not that old, he has got a lot of experience, international as well. And I think we're bolstering the wrong area. I think we need to bolster the back, stop leaking the goals. We're now starting to create the chances to score the goals. We just need to stop leaking them as well.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we do have our back four, Tierney, that's fine, but we 100% need a backup left back. That's something we need to improve on. Right back, we've got Cedric at the moment. Bellerin, Maitland-Niles, he's out on loan, put in a pretty shocking performance yesterday against Man United, despite a good point for West Brom. Centre-backs, we've got Gabriel, he's one for the future and for now. Rob Holding, I wouldn't say good enough. David Luiz, getting a new contract, but it's only just a cover really for another year. We got Saliba coming through, so 100%. There are places we still need to improve, and most of them are in that back four. But that about wraps it up for today. So thank you, everybody, so much for watching. Thank you, Mike, for coming on the channel.
Pleasure. Thank you.
We've got Andy Robertson in the chat now. Do you want to come to Arsenal as a backup left back? But thank you, everybody, so much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.